How
'Cause
far
there's
do you want to go
history.
down the rabbit hole?
I
All
mean,
the way.
I want to know if there's an
Okay.
end. I want to know if there's a bottom.
All right. Here we go. This is going to require a little bit of tinfoil on your part. So put your
Gotcha.
tinfoil hats on and
I'm ready.
run with me here.
Gotcha.
I'm ready.
This is lined internally.
There we go. One of the earliest known stories that we have of a Sasquatch killing someone was recorded in Teddy Roosevelt's book, The Wilderness Hunter. It's called the Bauman Incident,
Teddy.
where two trappers went out, and one of them was killed by a Bigfoot creature, and the other one basically abandoned all of his equipment and fled. Here's the thing, and I've talked to a lot of people, and they agree with me on this. Back then, these mountain men and hillbillies, I grew up around people that hunted and trapped and fished in the backwoods. You don't get the level of detail that Teddy Roosevelt got in that story, like how the traps were placed, the type of trees around the camp. You don't get that level of detail. They're like, yeah, I was camping and this is what I saw. You get a pretty bare bones, straightforward version of the story from most hillbillies. They don't go into hyperbole. They don't go into descriptions like a writer.
Right.
Now, what this leads me to believe is that Bauman was actually a young Teddy Roosevelt. However, he had political aspirations and didn't want to go on record saying I saw a monster in the woods and I can't explain it. So I'm firmly believe that the Bauman incident was about Teddy himself when he was a young man. We know for a fact he was a big game hunter. We know for a fact he prowled the backwoods of the United States and even went on safaris in Africa. The dude was a dedicated hunter, and was quite successful at it. So if you can accept that, my little bit of tinfoil there, if you can accept the fact that Bauman very possibly could have been Teddy Roosevelt,
Sure.
now we're about to really jump down this rabbit
This
hole.
could be the first conspiracy theory of cryptid.
I
Like the earliest conspiracy.
So
real quick question.
we
Just
assume-
before. So this was a collection of stories.
yeah, you can still order it on Amazon. It's called The Wilderness Hunter. It was
Okay.
written by Teddy Roosevelt when he was still a young man.
But he included anybody's story, not just his own.
No. There were stories about him hunting, with the exception of the Bauman incident.
So that's the only story he included that wasn't his story.
Right, that wasn't
Tech-
about a known
quote-
animal.
Quote unquote. Well, what I'm saying is
Right.
where it was this Bauman was the
The
subject or the
trapper that.
main character. It wasn't about Teddy himself.
Right.
But every other story referenced
the level
Teddy.
of detail that Bauman gave Teddy Roosevelt is just it was only something that somebody could have experienced. It's
Did
not
anybody
something
ever
that you
know
would
this
normally
Bauman?
get.
Yeah, did anybody ever know this
No,
Bauman?
Bauman was never identified. We don't even know his first name.
Oh, then I 100% agree with you. Why would that story, A, get into that book? B, who are you to Teddy Roosevelt? Right?
Right.
But at the time, maybe Teddy wasn't thinking of that or thought, nobody will ever be able to find this guy because he doesn't exist.
Teddy still had political aspirations.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, if you can accept that as an established fact, let's say
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt was Bauman. Okay,
I'll go with you there.
If you're ready to jump on that horse with me,
Let's
flash
do it.
forward
I'm in.
President Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, Teddy's in the Oval Office. What's one of the first things Teddy does as president?
Establishes the national parks.
Bing,
Yeah,
bing,
I
bing,
was-
give that
yeah.
man a prize.
Yep.